Welcome back to Jamyy. English, I'm Jayz.
And I'm Amy. This week we have been going deep into personal storytelling, hometown childhood, and today we go to the heart of it all.
Family.
The word that carries more meaning than almost any other in any language.
Talking about family in English comes up constantly, and it requires more than vocabulary. It requires tact, warmth, and the ability to say complex things simply.
Because family is complicated everywhere.
Every family is even the ones that look simple from the outside.
Today we teach you how to describe your family, talk about family relationships, navigate sensitive topics, and share what family means to you in natural, confident English.
Let's start with structure. How do you describe who is in your family?
The basic version: I have two parents, a younger brother, and a grandmother who lives with us. Short, clear, and already says something about the family dynamic.
Notice that last detail, a grandmother who lives with us. One phrase and it tells you something about the culture, the household, the relationships involved.
My family is my parents, my grandmother on my mother's side, and myself. I am an only child. My grandmother was a constant presence in my life and shaped me as much as my parents did.
My family growing up was my mom, my dad, and my younger sister Ketlin. Pretty standard on the surface, but underneath every family there are patterns and stories.
Let's practice describing family structure. You can say, I come from a large family, 5 kids and a lot of cousins. Or, it was just me and my mom. She raised me on her own and she is genuinely the strongest person I know. Or, my parents divorced when I was young, so I grew up going back and forth between 2 households.
Each of those is honest and complete without oversharing.
The phrase genuinely, the strongest person I know, adds warmth and specificity without requiring explanation.
Now let's talk about how to describe individual family members. The way you describe someone tells the listener how you feel about them.
My grandmother. She was small, precise in everything she did, and had a memory for detail that still amazes me. She remembered the birthday of every person she had ever met. She remembered what people wore when she first met them. She noticed everything.
That description is specific and real. We learned something about the grandmother and about Amy at the same time.
My father is a man of very few words. He is not someone who talks about feelings directly, but when I was stressed about school, he would come and sit near me without saying anything. Just be there, that meant everything.
Actions speak, and describing actions is more powerful than describing character with adjectives.
Instead of saying, my father is supportive, describe what he did.
My dad was the talker in our family. He could have a conversation with anyone about anything, at a gas station at the beach, with a complete stranger in a parking lot. He genuinely loved people, and people felt that immediately within 30 seconds.
You can hear the warmth in that. She genuinely loved people, and people felt that immediately. That sentence does a lot of work.
Useful phrases for describing family members. She was the kind of person who blank. He never said much, but you always knew blank. She had a way of blank that made everything feel blank. He was strict, but there was something warm underneath it.
Those frameworks let you be nuanced. Real people are nuanced.
Now, let's address something many learners find tricky. Talking about family when the structure is complicated.
Divorce, remarriage, estrangement, loss. These are real parts of real families.
Stepfather and stepmother are standard terms for a parent's new partner after remarriage. Half-sibling is for a sibling who shares one parent. Biological versus adoptive is the respectful language for adoption.
We are not close is a simple, non-blaming way to describe a strained relationship. You do not have to explain more than that.
She passed away when I was young, and we lost him a few years ago, are the natural English ways to talk about a family member who has died. Both are gentle and clear.
And it's complicated remains the most useful phrase when someone asks about a family relationship you do not want to detail.
In cross-cultural conversations, family structures that are normal in one context can seem surprising in another.
Multigenerational households, for example. In the US, it is relatively uncommon for grandparents to live with their adult children. In many Asian, Mediterranean, and Latin American cultures, it is completely normal and expected.
When Amy mentions that her grandmother lived with them, an American colleague might ask, "Oh, is she okay? Is she sick?" because, in that context, an elderly person moving in often suggests a health crisis.
While in Amy's context, it is simply family.
Being able to explain the calmly is a useful skill. In my culture, it is quite common for grandparents to live with the family. It was just how things were, and honestly, I am grateful for it.
That answer educates without lecturing, and it adds something personal at the end.
Now, let's talk about family roles. Every family has them, whether they are spoken or not.
The responsible one, the funny one, the peacemaker, the one who is always late, the one who calls everyone on birthdays.
In my family, my mom was the steady one. She kept things calm and organized. My dad was the energy, the one who made everything feel like an event. My sister was the expressive one who said out loud what the rest of us were feeling.
And what were you?
I was the one who left. Not in a bad way, I just always wanted to see what was out there. My family gave me a safe enough place to leave from.
That is a profound way to describe a family. A safe enough place to leave from.
And it is true for a lot of people, the best families give you roots and then give you permission to fly.
In my family, I was the quiet observer. I noticed everything, but said very little. My grandmother was the one who kept everyone connected. My father was the provider who expressed love through doing things for people. My mother was the heart.
Let's practice phrases for family roles. In our family, blank was always the one who blank. My blank has always been the person everyone calls when something goes wrong. I was the blank one growing up, for better or worse.
And for talking about family dynamics, we are very close, but we give each other space. We show love in practical ways rather than emotional ones. We argue sometimes, but we always come back to each other. There is a lot of warmth in my family, even if it is not always expressed directly.
Now, let's talk about family traditions, because traditions are one of the richest topics in any family conversation.
What did your family always do? What was non-negotiable? What happened every single year?
In my family, every Thanksgiving my dad made the same stuffing recipe that his mother had made. It was not a particularly good stuffing, but we ate it every year and nobody ever said anything.
That is extremely relatable. Family food traditions are incredibly powerful, even when the food itself is questionable.
There was also this thing we did every Christmas Eve where my mom read the same story she had read every year since before my sister and I were born. We were in our 20s, and she still read it. We still sat there and listened.
That ritual held the family together, not the story itself, but the act of repeating it together.
Exactly. The ritual says we are still here. We are still us.
In my family, there was a specific order to how New Year preparations happened. My grandmother directed everything. Certain dishes had to be started in a particular sequence. Certain family members had particular jobs.
Were you good at it?
Not at first. My dumplings always looked slightly collapsed. My grandmother would quietly come by and reshape them without saying a word. I found that strangely comforting.
That story is wonderful. A physical detail, a personal failing, and warmth. And it says something true about the relationship.
Useful phrases for family traditions. Every year without fail we would blink. It became a tradition without anyone planning it. It just happened. It sounds small, but to me it meant that everything was okay. I do it now on my own, and it feels like they are in the room with me.
That last one is powerful. Carrying a family ritual forward alone is one of the most tender things people do.
Now, let's talk about how families change over time.
Families are not static. People grow up and move away. Parents get older. Spegreys develop their own lives. The family you have at 40 is not the same family you had at 10.
We were very close when I was young, but we drifted a bit as we got older. We are finding our way back to each other now. That is a real story told simply.
After my grandmother passed, the family gatherings felt different. She was the one who held everything together. We are still figuring out who we are without her.
Both of those are authentic without being heavy. They describe a real thing and leave space for the conversation to continue.
One more thing worth mentioning. The family you choose.
Close friends who feel like family, mentors who shaped you, communities that held you for many people, especially those who are far from their biological family, chosen family becomes equally important.
She is basically family to me. We have been through everything together. He is like a brother. We grew up in the same neighborhood. My chosen family kept me going during a really difficult period.
These phrases are completely natural in English and increasingly common.
The language of family expands to include the people who actually show up for us.
Let's review vocabulary for family structure: nuclear family, extended family, blended family, only child, eldest, youngest, single parent, household, multigenerational household.
For describing family members, warm, reserved, expressive, practical, the rock, the heart. She had a way of, he never said much, but genuinely the strongest person I know.
For family dynamics, close-knit, give each other space, show love through actions, complicated history, always come back to each other, unconditional.
For family traditions, every year without fail, it became a ritual. It sounds small, but it meant everything was okay. It just happened naturally.
And for chosen family, she is basically family, like a sibling, kept me going, showed up when it mattered.
Family is the first community we ever belonged to. Talking about it honestly and warmly in English is one of the most human things you can do in conversation.
Tell your family's story with specificity and care.
Thank you for being here today.
We will see you tomorrow.
Before we go today, let's do one final exercise together. I want you to think of 3 people in your family. For each one, I want you to complete this sentence. Blank is the kind of person who blank.
I will go first. My grandmother was the kind of person who noticed what you needed before you said anything. My mother is the kind of person who turns a difficult day into a dinner party topic. My father is the kind of person who shows up with a 2-cart when you mention a problem.
I love those. Now my mom is the kind of person who makes everyone feel like the most important person in the room. My sister is the kind of person who says the honest thing that everyone else was thinking but would not say. My dad is the kind of person who would drive 4 hours to help you move and refuse to talk about it afterward.
These little portraits are so revealing. They tell you about the person being described, the person describing them, and the relationship between them.
That is the magic of specificity. A specific detail does more than a general one ever can.
Try it yourself tonight. 3 people, 3 sentences. Use the framework. Blank is the kind of person who blank. Then say it out loud in English. Practice it until it sounds natural and warm, because it will.
Your family made you. Being able to talk about them in English is a way of honoring that.
And connecting with anyone who asks.
See you tomorrow on Jamyy English.
Take good care.